Evening, everybody. Welcome to the regularly scheduled Warren Town Council meeting. Today is Tuesday, December 14th, 2021. If everybody would please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We start the evening with public comment. Is there anybody in the room this evening who would like to come forward and share something to us, with us, ask a question, make a comment? Hearing none, I'd like to say something. And this is on behalf of the town manager, and she is welcome to chime in and give me a little support and backup on this. Given the joyous holiday season that we are all living in, I would ask you all to be particularly careful about what you're putting down your drains, both in the kitchen and in the bathroom. Over the Thanksgiving holiday, we were at near disaster level with some blockages in our town infrastructure. And I think that we need to all be reminded to be a little more mindful about what we're putting down the drain. The old adage that if you put a coffee ground or potato peel or some vegetable rinds or fat, be it butter or pan drippings or whatever, and follow it up with some Dawn dish detergent and put the hot water on, that just creates a block further down the line. And if you live near that block, boy, are you gonna wish you didn't, because it could be a problem. So please just think about it before you put it down there, and maybe think about composting and eating the whole vegetable and the whole potato. Did I miss anything?
No, well said. Thank you very much.
All righty. Thank you. On the agenda, if you are following along, we were to have some recognitions this evening of the Honor Roll Committee members and the Holiday Festival Chairperson, Marilyn Matheson. Unfortunately, none of those individuals and people could be here with us this evening, so we're going to continue that recognition to the January meeting. And that's that. And with that, we have the annual election of town council officers. We are just 4 this evening, and so it should be interested.
Madam President, if I may, before we start getting into the minutia details, maybe it would be more appropriate if we just table this to the next January meeting. So I'm going to make a motion that we table this till January. I mean, I'm open for more discussion too.
Continue.
Yeah.
I would say continue, not
I
table.
just figured that way that the 5th member, I believe, will be available.
Okay,
May I?
we may discuss.
Thank you. I understand why you might want to do that. I have some concern. Councilman DePasquale has missed a number of meetings. Are we even sure he's going to be at our next meeting? So, this could just get continued down the road.
Sure, and
I'm very concerned about that.
And I don't want to speak for Joe, but I did have a conversation with him that indicated that he would be attending next meeting. But as far as an attendance issue, I just look at it regardless of what the issue is, why the individual is absent. It could be a number of things, plus a work conflict thing. So I just feel in the
No,
interest.
I'm not debating why he seems to have
Sure, understand.
An issue right now
Yeah.
with attendance and consistency. So, I'm worried that if we sort of kick the can down the road to January and then he doesn't show up again, do it to February. I'm a little concerned.
Yeah, how much further do we go? Well, I think we're still going to operate on get our business done, but I don't believe the solicitor is going to say that we're running down a slippery slope here. I believe within the scope of what we are able to do as a council, I feel we can table this.
Even though the charter says December is when we elect officers.
Correct, yes.
First, I agree with Mr. Hanley that tabling the matter is not.
It was me, so,
No, I agree with Mr.
But I said
Hammond's
to
comment.
continue, not table.
oh,
That
I'm sorry.
tabling is not appropriate.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's in the
Yeah.
first instance. The second instance, the election is supposed to take place in December, as set forth in section 3.10 of the town charter, which reads, "The town council shall annually in December elect from among its members a president and vice president, each of whom will serve at the pleasure of the town council." That said, however, because there's 4 members, the motion to continue the December election to January is in order for a vote if there's a second.
And I can amend my motion to say continued instead of tabled. I apologize for using tabled, yeah.
I'll second that. motion
Yes,
to
but
Yep.
before the vote takes place, that means that the current officers will remain in their office during
Correct.
that time.
Yes, correct.
So we have a motion and a second to continue. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And
There we
so we continue as we are for the month of December. And I would like to say that I appreciate you wanting to make it a vote of 5 because we are an elected council of 5. But I would also like to say that this is an unprecedented number of absences by a single member of the council without any explanation or communication to the clerk or to the council president, which is a complete violation of both protocol, conduct, and decency. And that we should pause on this critical vote, which I think we can probably all guess how it would go tonight, possibly a tie, possibly a decision. I think affords a level of courtesy to a member of the council who has not shown that equal level of courtesy to the people who he serves with, and certainly not to the public whom he serves directly to. So that's just my opinion.
With that said, Madam President, I would just remember that Councilman DePasquale has served this town for going on 20 years, I think. So I understand your position and I understand your frustration, but I think the best thing to do is probably, as we agreed, we'll address it in January.
You are kind to give him
Yeah.
that generosity and that latitude, and we will now go to appointments. If everybody would like to go to page 10 and 11, we have the annual appointments or reappointments to vote on. Shall we, we'll go item by or line by line. The first is Housing Court Judge. It's a 1-year term. Alden Harrington of 38 Water, Esquire of 38 Water Street is up for reappointment.
I'll make a motion that we reappoint the Associate Housing Court Judge, Alden C. Harrington, from 38 Water Street for a 1-year term.
I will second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next is Associate Municipal Court Judge for a 1-year term, Brett Bobine Esquire of 15 Thompson Street.
Make a motion, we reappoint Brett Bodine as the Assistant Associate Municipal Court Judge.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next, we have Bristol County Water Authority. It's a 3-year term. There are 3 members, and there is 1 member, William Gosselin of 8 Colonial Drive.
I will make a motion, we reappoint William Goslin to the Bristol County Water Authority.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next is Coastal Resource Management Council. It's a 2-year term, and William Hunt Jr. of 7 Beechwood Court.
Make a motion, we appoint William J. Hunt to reappoint to the Coastal Resource Management Council.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Conservation Commission, it's a 3-year term. We have there are 7 members, and there is 1 reappointment. This is Jane Harrison of 17 Chase Avenue.
Make a motion to reappoint Jane Harrison to the Conservation Commission.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And I should make note to the people here that all of these people who are serving have expressed a desire to be reappointed. Economic Development Board, 3-year term, 10 members. There are 2 alternates, and we have 5 members. They are Andy Arruda or Andrew Arruda of 28 Brownell Street, Albert Federico, he's an alternate. He is serving a 1-year term of 14 Fern Drive. Nicole Rose Lyons of 840 Main Street, Apartment 3. Dan Shed of 83 Rumstick Road in Barrington, and Natalie Thompson of 491 Ocean Grove Avenue in Warren.
I will make a motion, we reappoint Andrew Arruda, Albert Federico, Nicole Rose Lyons, Dan Shed, and Natalie Thompson to the Economic Development Board.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next, we have our electrical inspector. It's a 1-year term, Nicholas T. Massad of 44 Everett Street.
I'm going to make a motion, but actually Councilman Kalenda asked me a question and I don't know the answer to it. Maybe the solicitor will. The 1-year term, is that set in the charter? I don't think it's state law, but is that set in the charter?
I actually believe it's state law.
Is it?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay. I will make a motion to reappoint Nicholas T. Massad as the electrical inspector.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next, we have Harbor Management Commission. It's a 3-year term, and there are 7 members. Of those 7, 2 are up for reappointment. William J. Hunt Jr. of 7 Beechwood Court and Jeremy McVeigh of 60 Patterson Avenue.
I will make a motion, we reappoint William J. Hunt Jr. and Jeremy McVeigh to the Harbor Management Commission.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Housing Court Judge, it's a 2-year term. There is only one. It is John J. Rigo of 29 Long Lane.
I will make a motion, we reappoint John J. Rago as the Housing Court Judge.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Juvenile Hearing Board, it's a 3-year term. There are 5 members plus 2 alternates. We have 4 reappointments. Rhonda Lee Fortin of 514 Main Street, Jeffrey Keegan of 30 Beth Avenue, Kenneth J. McPhillips of 40 Truman Avenue, and Tara Thibodeau of 605 Main Street.
We'll make a motion, we reappoint Rhonda Lee Fortin, Jeffrey Keegan, Kenneth J. McPhillips, and Tara Thibodeau to the Juvenile Hearing Board.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And next is Library Trustee. It's a 1-year term. There are 2 members, and they are Carol Gafford of 700 Metacom Avenue, number 133, and John Cheney of 172 Water Street.
I will make a motion, we reappoint Carol Gafford and John Cheney to the Library Trustees.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next, we have Planning Board. It's a 3-year term, and there are 9 members. They are Brett Bodine of 15 Thompson Street, Michael Gerhart of 39 Baggy Wrinkle Cove, Andrea Giles of 826 Main Street, number 1, James Leffers of 412 C Avenue, and James H. Patterson of 21 Hanley Farm Road.
I will make a motion, we reappoint Brett V. Bodine, Michael Gerhart, Andrea Giles, James Leffers, and James H. Patterson to the Planning Board.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Plumbing and Mechanical Inspector, it's a 1-year term, Peter J. Withers of 8 Brady Street.
I will make a motion, we reappoint Peter J. Withers to the Plumbing Mechanical Inspector.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Probate Court Judge, it's a 2-year term, Anthony DeSisto of 450 Veterans Memorial Parkway of East Providence.
I will make a motion to appoint Anthony DeSisto to the Probate Court Judge. And are you interested in maintaining that position?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank
And
you.
I will second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Town Sergeant, it is a 1-year term, is Bruce Hutchinson of 1 Cedar Lane.
I will make a motion, we reappoint Bruce Hutchinson as the Town Sergeant.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Tree Warden, it's a 3-year term, Stephen Batista of 10 Kenny Drive.
I will make a motion, we reappoint Stephen Batista as the Tree Warden.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Voluntary Historic District Committee, it's a 4-year term. There are 5 members and 2 alternates. Tonight, we are looking to reappoint Catherine Ablaskai, alternate to a 3-year term of 341 Child Street.
I will make a motion, we reappoint Catherine Ablaska to the Voluntary Historic District.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
And Warren Housing Authority, it's a 5-year term. There are 5 members. Tonight, we are looking to reappoint Louis A. Rigo of 12 Taddy Avenue.
I will make a motion, we appoint Louis A. Rigo to the Warren Housing Authority.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And finally, Zoning Board. It's a 5-year term. There are 5 members plus 2 alternates. This evening, we are looking to reappoint Michael Anthony Alves. He is an alternate to a 1-year term of 35 Overhill Road. David J. Francis, also an alternate to a 1-year term of 22 Hale Street. And Jason J. Renone of 21 Miller Street.
I will make a motion, we reappoint Michael Anthony Alves, David J. Francis, and Jason J. Renone to the Zoning Board.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Done. And next, we have interviews. This evening, we have 2 applicants for 1 position. It is a position on the Arts and Cultural Commission. I would call up the applicant who appears first on the agenda, Mr. Elwood Donnelly. Would you come forward, please?
Thank you.
Hello.
Good
Good
evening,
evening.
Elwood. Welcome. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about yourself, maybe something we don't already know. No. And why you would like to serve, what you think you would bring to the Arts and Cultural Commission.
Okay, thank you. Well, thanks for having me here to talk to you tonight. I guess I've been a full-time touring musician nationally since the 1990s, and I've been producing concerts, festivals, and other live music events since 1987. It's what I love to do, and I don't mind handling lots of details. More recently, since 2017, I've been on the Art Night Bristol Warren Board of Directors, booking music for the open studio events. Also, for the last few years, booked all the music for the Warren Walkabout for Discover Warren. This past Sunday, I organized a benefit event for Nourish Our Neighbors at the First United Methodist Church of Warren, raising more than $1,500 to help feed people in our community. The Arts and Cultural Commission in any community, to me, is really important. I'm glad the town has one. If I can help this organization by adding any skills that I might have to the already talented group of people, then I'd be happy to do that. I've been attending the meetings as they're open to the public for 3 months now, and I think it's something I'd be interested in, and maybe I could help some way.
Great. Thank you. Any questions from the council?
He answered my standard question if he would have time to attend, and he's already been attending for 3 months, so that answers my question.
Well, I thought about that question, because I think about it every time I get ready to volunteer for another event or program, and I think about that question a lot. And to me, it comes back to what you have a passion for. Like, you all do this because you want to bring something to the community and you think it's important. And that's basically where I'm coming from too.
Another one question.
Yeah.
Mr. Donnelly, you have a musical partnership with Aubrey Atwater.
Yeah.
She's your wife.
Yeah.
Since 1987, you've done this with her.
Yeah.
So I want to say that's an amazing accomplishment.
Oh, thanks.
So,
You have to be full-time. Yeah, I know.
yeah,
We
I
never
just,
thought you could make a living on folk music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, these kinds of commissions and groups are really important to me. They're important to the community, and they're important to me too. And so I usually try to put my heart into them, and and it's something I've had lots of experience in. So,
You've got a long-standing longevity on your side on here. I'll give you that.
Thank you.
Councilman Conde?
No, I have no question to, think very well suited, right?
Thanks.
Yeah.
My question kind of ties into the traditional one, if you have the time. And my new version of that is, have you attended any meetings? If so, how many? Which we know now that you have.
Yeah.
And what do you think, do you see anything that's lacking? Or what, is there a particular event or program that you think is missing that you would like to see happen and would?
Yeah,
Would you-
I understand the question. I don't think I've been to enough meetings to know for sure, but I know that the minds are open on the committee and they're willing to talk about and help and support just about anything that anyone brings up. So wouldn't say there's anything lacking, but I think we're open to experience and going in new directions when needed and try to help and support those existing events in town.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thanks.
All right.
Thanks.
And next, we will hear from Elizabeth Ann O'Connell. And if she could come forward.
Hello, good evening.
Hello. Good
Hi.
evening. Hi.
Hi.
All right.
Great. Glad to be here and wow, it's really well attended tonight.
Yeah, packing them in. So tell us, why this, why would you like to be a member of the Arts and Cultural Commission, and what unique thing do you bring to it? Would you bring to it?
Well, I think when it comes down to it, I'm a people person. And I've been living in Warren for 14 years, different locations. And I love it here. And I have met many of the merchants and people of the town. A few years ago, we started, I think it's going to be 4 years, the Warren Beautification Program. That has been really successful as far as getting people to meet each other in town, do something for the town in a volunteer capacity, but also out of love for Warren and wanting to make the streets walkable and enjoyable. Also, you may remember a few years ago, I helped facilitate a conversation with artists in the town, artists and musicians and performers about having, well, actually I was a facilitator for that meeting, but one of the items on the agenda was forming an arts and culture commission. And I stood up and talked to the council about that here several times. And as a result, not of my talking, but of the town's decision, you now have an arts and culture commission. I teach at CCRI. I've been an artist my whole life. I'm a weaving expert. I'm a watercolor artist. And what I would love to see for Warren, and I see that you've made it a 3-year position, or you're planning to make it a position, is to see some of these empty storefronts and the old second-story theater become art venues. And that would be wonderful. We originally thought, oh, wouldn't it be wonderful to have the old gas company,
The grid
the
light.
National Grid Company, a brick building as like a magnet for the arts. And, you know, things happen the way they're going to happen. That didn't work out, but there's still so many possibilities for Warren. I look at Burrs Hill Park and I can see on weekends having farmers market down there and a place for people to display their art. I have a lot of ideas I have a lot of arts background, and I know quite a few people in Warren and feel comfortable talking with them and communicating with them. So
Thank you.
that's about it.
Go
Uh,
ahead, Asa.
Can I use your wording?
You can, you may.
Will you have time to serve on the board, and have you attended any of the previous meetings?
No, I haven't attended the meetings, but I will have time. I work part-time as an instructor, and I'm semi-retired, so. I don't know the amount of hours that are asked of each person, on the committee, but I certainly can attend meetings and do what I can.
I have nothing. No, she's hitting
Thank
all
you.
the high points for me.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So a little deliberation and we will make a motion.
This-
I would just like to say that as with all of our boards and commissions, this one included, they are public meetings and everybody is welcome and encouraged to come and attend to get an idea of what that board and commission does if they're ever considering joining.
How many members are there? Is there 5? 7?
9?
9? Did we create 9?
9,
Nine?
yes.
I-
Do you oversight that one too? Do you?
I really wish we could appoint them both. They're both fantastically qualified.
There is the potential and the likelihood that there will be another opening. So I would say that one person will be appointed this evening and the person who is not is welcome to attend the meetings and contribute and be on a subcommittee if they'd like. And when the next position opens up, which will likely happen soon, encouraged to reapply. Do we have a motion?
Yeah, it's two fantastic applicants. So it's a hard decision, but personally, I'm leaning towards the cultural side of this, and I would basically ask that we nominate Elwood Donnelly for the position.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And thank you both. And
Just before, those both applicants, just understand that you're both fabulous candidates for this board. So I implore Elizabeth, please keep attending the meetings. And when another spot opens up, come back to us. Definitely come back to us. Yeah. It was lovely having you both come up here and speak before the council. So, yeah. And then I think you know each other too. Yeah, it's a small world. Thank you. Thank you, Madam
thank
President.
you both.
Yeah.
Excuse me. There is one position open on the Conservation Commission Board without an applicant. And so I think we can hold our motion for
we-
advertising till we get to correspondence because
Yes,
there are a
yeah.
number of resignations. So there will be openings on a variety of boards and commissions. So we need people out there. Next, we have the acceptance of minutes. Do we have some motions here,
I will
please?
make a motion. We accept the executive session minutes from November 8th, 2021.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
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 pass them down.
Pass them down.
Next, I will make a motion. We accept the special meeting minutes from November 8th, 2021.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
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 And finally, I will make a motion that we accept the regular meeting minutes of November 9th, 2021.
Second,
All in favor?
aye.
Aye. All right. The consent agenda is on pages 5 and 6, P1, 2, and 3. Does anybody have any questions or reason to discuss anything on there?
I will make a motion. We pass the consent agenda.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Next, we have Ordinance 01, Chapter 10, Article 2, Harbor Regulations. This is the second reading. Does anybody have any comments, questions, or edits to make?
Same as last month.
No changes. I will make a motion. We pass the second reading of the ordinance for chapter 10, article 2, harbor regulations.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I should have asked Mr. Cabral, did you want to say anything about this? You're happy with it? Okay, thank you so much. Continuing on to page 4. We have a public hearing. It's PH1. We have Class BV licenses to approve. We can go line by line. The first is Perfect Picnics Hospitality LLC, doing business as Uptown Food and Spirits. Are the applicants here?
Come on down.
As we do, we ask you to please introduce yourselves, even if we all know who you are. Just
James Samikas.
Alyssa Heller.
good evening. And you would like to continue having your BV license?
Please.
And are we all up to date with the fire marshal? There's no outstanding, we have a compliant here.
That's correct.
Okay, great.
Anything from the police chief? No? Okay. I will make a motion that we approve the BV license for Perfect Picnics Hospitality LLC.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Does this mean
Thank
I
you.
can't call you Jimmy anymore? You want to by James? When's that happen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we getting older?
We can.
It's good to see you. Yeah.
Thank
very
you.
good. Vacation.
Next, we have Renegade Restaurant Group LLC, doing business as The Revival.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Peter
Good evening.
Lowry.
How are you?
Good, how you doing?
Good to see you.
Nice to see you this evening. And I see that we have a compliant now. Everybody's good. And so
Very
you
good.
would like to continue operating under your BV license,
Absolutely.
and you're doing well.
Doing great.
All right.
I will make a motion. We approve the BV license for Renegade Restaurant Group LLC.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you for coming tonight.
Thank you for having me. Happy holidays.
You too. And finally, we have the Kerry Corporation, doing business as the Square Peg at 51 Miller Street.
Joel Carey,
Good evening, Mr. Carey.
good evening.
We do have a non-compliant here. Has that been resolved? All set? So you would like to continue running the Square Peg?
Yes,
with the BV
please.
license?
I guess so.
I don't know. Do we have a motion?
I will make a motion that we
Approve.
Approve.
We should approve
Yeah.
it.
wow, I just drew a blank there. Bad. I will make a motion that we approve the BV license for the Cary Corporation. The question I have is, on the application, it's checked BVL. Is BV the correct license? So approve the BV license for the Cary Corporation.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Good
Carey,
night,
for
Joe.
coming for us. Next, we go to the Class D, which is the Italo-American Citizens Club of Warren, at the advice of the solicitor. We will continue that pending resolution of the hearing.
I'll make a motion. We continue this to, should we go month at a time?
I'd say go to January. The hearing that was scheduled for yesterday was continued because the attorney for the club had surgery and was recovering from it. So I expect the hearing to be before your next town council meeting. So it has to be continued for a month.
I'll make a motion. We continue to the next regularly scheduled town council meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Alrighty, so do we need to close PH1? Or do we leave it open for the next?
I beg your pardon?
Do we need to close the public hearing for PH1? Or do we leave it open until the end of?
The show cause hearing.
No. Because you're going now to PH2, correct?
We are, but so we can, well, we just did, yeah, okay.
There's
So,
separate items on the agenda.
I'll make
yes.
a motion, we close PH1.
That's correct, yes.
okay,
And I'll second it.
thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Next, we have a show cause hearing. This is PH2. This is for HFC Global Inc., doing business as Mr. Chicken, at 275 Child Street is Mr. Chicken himself here.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So as our agenda does state, we have two issues that were carried over from the previous month. Number one is the abandonment of premises or cessation to operate for a period of 90 days or more pursuant to section 11-59 of the Warren Town Code. And two, failure to submit application on time pursuant to Rhode Island General Law 3-7-6. At this time, where are we in those two issues, and what is your status?
The status, I think I'm clear on my paperwork. I just waiting for people.
So you have resolved the issue with your failure to submit your application.
Yes.
So that, does the clerk's office have all of the paperwork? Okay, so that has been resolved. And where are you as far as your staffing?
My staff and I still having a hard time. I just want two people to work. The one is a dishwasher, one is a helper, cook helper. Advertising very heavy. I cannot find nobody to work here.
So how many positions exactly are open?
And it's 6 minimum.
Minimum of 6 of these would be servers and a chef?
Chefs.
Chefs,
I have a
plus servers?
Plus service.
So that totals 6.
Yeah, the minimum, just the takeout. No, so half of the business is takeout and the tables. I need another 6 just for the tables. But I can operate just with takeout. I'll be good. I still have a hard time just for the.
Okay. So we have been now holding this BV license in your name for approaching, it's been a year, two plus years, approaching 3?
2 years, yeah. 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
4 years. This will be going on the 4th.
And in that time, did we create another license for another new business?
Yes.
We did. I think we were created.
There might have been 2 of them.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay,
We created 5.
all right.
Okay.
So we,
Yeah, I just can I speak. I like to see which 5 open because they're doing something great. I like to speak to them, see what they're doing different.
Oh, they all open. Oh, yeah.
No, I like to speak with compared to my business.
Yeah, but they're not here in front of us,
No.
you are.
Yeah.
So that's what we're discussing you,
Yeah,
not other,
they're
not
doing
other
something different
restaurants
on
or
people
applicants.
Because I don't know what they're doing different than me.
I do have a question.
Mr. Hanley?
Where are you advertising for these positions?
Radios, social clubs, TV, 2 Portuguese radios, newspaper, mouth to mouth.
Well, yeah. Can you tell me which newspaper you're advertising in?
Yeah, it's a Warren newspaper.
All the times.
Josh and Johnson, I mean, nobody called it from there.
And you have multiple locations, do I understand?
One in Florida,
And how's that restaurant doing?
beautiful.
So you're fully staffed there and open for business?
Beautiful. I have people, they don't want to come up here because some I have cars. Some they don't want to work in Rhode Island. Because taxes are higher. They don't want to come up here. And Rhode Island cannot find nobody to work.
Can I just ask one?
You may.
Are all the renovations done inside? Are you complete, ready to open? You just need staff?
Yes, back on step tomorrow, I'll open next week.
Okay. So like, if we were to say, come back and see us next month, if this was to get pushed next month, I'm not saying that's gonna happen.
Yeah,
And you got staff, you could open the next day.
that's, no, it takes me a week to get
All
all
right,
this.
turn on the fryer laters and go.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Frustrated.
Yeah, I can assure you it is not the intention of the council to put unrealistic or unfair expectations and stipulations on a permit to sell alcohol. But in the time that it has taken 5 other restaurants to get built out and staffed and up and operating and successful, you haven't been
That's
able
why I
to
need
complete
prepare
that.
What they have.
And so we have been graciously holding this license on your behalf that potentially somebody else might want. And so if we have another applicant who comes forward and says, I'm good to go, I'm ready, we're gonna have to go through a whole process of creating another license for that business. And that takes time, which is money. And so in good conscience of, carrying this over, I feel as though we have given as much opportunity for you to get your affairs in order.
I understand, but I'm trying my best. Losing this meeting. Because I pay my taxes, I pay everything up to date. I just struggle. I put a lot of money on that building. I don't want to lose.
I hear you. But on the other hand, if we were not to grant this to you tonight and it sat open and you got in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you got a full staff, then you could get on the January agenda.
When it happened in the holidays, nobody wants to work.
So then there's no reason for us to
I know, it's
hold
just,
it.
I'm trying. I wish you can show up everybody tomorrow and next week I'll set to go.
So I just have another follow-up question. So
Yes.
if we deny it, he comes back, it's a 2-month process, right?
No, because usually it's 2 months if we have to create the license.
So we wouldn't have to create it unless somebody
Right.
jumps in, but if we had to create it, it would be 2 months.
Correct.
Okay, so if we denied it, and we could even do a special if we had the opportunity to do a special council meeting, potentially.
I'm in agreement with that, we can get you a license, quickly, but I'm concerned about the precedent that holding this for 4 years and keep extending it. Again, as the council president mentioned, someone else comes in, with a request for a license. We want to be able to accommodate that person as quickly as possible. And I think we can, when you get your staffing and straightened out, I mean, you just come back
Yeah,
up and
but
we'll expedite it for you.
Yeah, but it takes 2 months to create a license. I get my staff not going to hold.
No, I don't think it's
No,
two
no, no,
licenses.
no,
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 it's
it
not
doesn't
two.
take, no, it doesn't
No.
take 2 months. If we deny tonight, okay, and then you get your staff, and the license is still available, then you just get on our agenda and you petition for the license. What Councilman Hecker is mentioning that is if somebody was to come in and get that license for you, then we would have to create a license. That doesn't appear to be the situation right now. But in the interest of fairness, I mean, I'm supporting you. I'm trying to really be in your
I know.
corner. But like, this has been 4 years and
Yeah, but it's just what, the time I opened the restaurant, just the COVID just hit.
no, I know. No, I know. And whatever is going on in your other business.
I know
whatever
that
the
too.
business-
I can do it different route.
Yep, I understand.
I
that.
put a lot of money in that building.
Yeah.
A lot of taxes I'm paying this 4 years.
Yeah, and we want to see you
And
open.
the town needed to help me to bring the taxes down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I still pay my full payment of taxes. So nobody helped me. Like another business, they help, you guys help. Another business here, they're working. Nobody helped me.
I'm not sure what you're talking about,
Yeah, I'm not
but
really following
we
on you.
we
there.
don't
I think
help.
he's talking about the COVID relief, but we didn't grant anybody tax relief because of COVID.
Yeah,
Right, exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
We gave them some money back on their licenses, their annual licenses because of
Yeah.
loss, but yeah, but
Not
those were
taxes.
operating businesses, correct. Does the solicitor have anything to say on this?
Well, it's discretionary on your part. I think the statements you made in regard to the licensing is correct and accurate, along with the factual basis for what's going on here with the license being for the 4 years. So I don't have anything to add. I'm not going to correct you on what you said. All of your statements in regard to the licensing have been legally accurate.
Well, I feel perfectly comfortable as a small business person myself, not in your industry, but denying your permit this evening, and that license will remain open for either you to come and reapply or for another person who is trying to get a business started. As you accurately stated, it's the holidays. There's not a lot of people opening businesses right here, right now, but you will have just as much opportunity in January, in the new year, to, get your staff set up and be first on the agenda to apply for the open license.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. If I come here, if I get my staff, I need to open 2 weeks. You guys gonna give me the
And
license?
as Councilman Kalenda stated, if you, by some miracle, get your staff all lined up, you reach out to the clerk's office, who will in turn reach out to the council, and we
Even
have,
some- even somebody took my license already.
well, there's, like you said, your argument was that it's the holidays. Where are you going to get staff? It's the holidays. People are not opening restaurants right now.
Yep.
So I'm not concerned about somebody else coming and grabbing it, but if somebody's got their ducks in a row, why should we make them wait for 2 months to create a new one while you're sitting on it for 4 years? That doesn't work.
Yeah, but this is not right to me because I just get hit by the COVID. And the type of business I am is tough because the type of food we do is not like anybody around. All you could closest business to me is Jack's restaurant there. Similar to me, and he's having a hard time. So it was open for years. I come to this town because a lot of people, customers from Rhode Island, they recommend me to come up here. And I like to be successful in this town, but everything it looks like boom, boom, boom. So, yeah.
The COVID will explain 2 years. We're on 4.
I don't understand. I never see. I'm in this country 35 plus years. I never see something like this.
Right.
We want you to be successful. We want you to be successful in the town of Warren, but we will have a motion and we will have a vote, and a decision will be made, and it is in no way trying to hinder your ability to do business, but it's just what's fair and right according to us. Mr. Hecker?
But I just want to say, I'd like to make sure that we ask the public if the public has any comment.
Yeah,
they'd
after
like to
the
make.
applicant.
Yes, thank you.
Is done. Yes, we'll go to the public portion. Do you have anything else to add before we move to the public for public comment?
I have one.
Do you have anything else you'd like to add?
Want to say?
Anything else you'd like to say?
I just work so hard. I just spend a lot of money. Pay my taxes and time.
Okay,
It's not my fault. I cannot find this stuff.
We
we
understand.
understand.
It's, people don't want to work. I'm competing with the government. Government gives checks to people to stay home. I'm competing with them. It's unbelievable. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody here who would like to speak on behalf of, or who would like to speak? Please come forward.
Mark Dobbin, Liberty Street. Can you hear me?
We can.
I have no dog in this race. I don't know the gentleman. Obviously, the restaurant's not open yet, so we can't opine on whether I like it or not. It seems like a really tough moment to be adding more burden to a restaurateur hoping to open a place in our town. Especially that locale, as everyone who has lived here a long time knows, it's a tough spot to fill. It's flipped a number of times. If we could get someone in there, being successful, it's only a positive. I think the gentleman's point was correct that if he happens to find his staff, he can't tell them, I need 4 weeks to go before the council again so I can get my license back. So how is he going to hold those folks for those 4 weeks? He can't open. I just don't see the upside. I get it's been a long time, the 2 years before the pandemic struck. I have no idea what the excuses were for that. But like y'all said, there's not another business currently applying. So just kick it down the road, let him, let him take a crack at it until someone else comes. I know it's more of a pain in the ass pain in the butt for you guys to, create more licenses, I guess. But until that bridge needs to be crossed, why not just, let it slide and hope that he can get it up and running?
No, I understand.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Is anybody else here who would like to make a comment? Hearing none, do we have a motion to close the public hearing?
I'll make a motion, we close the public hearing.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I will make a motion that we deny the BV license without prejudice, which means you can come back anytime. It's just, if someone comes in and they're ready to go, we're talking 4 years. We're not talking a year or 2 years. And we will go out of our way to accommodate you. We'll have a special meeting if we need it. We'll do what we can if that license does go away. But at this time, my motion is to deny the BV license for abandonment of the premises for the BV license.
Madam President, discussion?
Yes?
Is it possible just to deny the B and allow the food?
The food can
food's
go by
already-
itself. Yeah,
All
that's
right.
Yeah,
vitrilling.
that's
That'd be a
Okay.
vitrilling license.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
that's
just the
already been-
vigiling license is going to stay in place?
Victualling license is in place. You could
Okay.
open tomorrow and just serve food.
Okay.
Yep.
You do understand that if you.
Okay.
Okay. So we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any
I'm
opposed?
going to vote opposed.
Okay. The ayes do have it. And we hope to see you back here. PH3, this is a request for a Class BVL beverage and vittling license. That is a license that is limited to beer and wine from Baja Fresh Express 2 LLC at 651 Metacom Avenue. Are the applicants here? Or is the applicant here?
Coming forward.
Hello.
Hello,
Good evening.
Hi there. What is your name?
Emily Mata.
Emily Lata?
Mata.
Mata.
MTA.
Emily Mata. And you are you represent Baja Fresh Express?
Yes, I do.
What is your position?
Manager?
Great. And you would like to have a license to sell beer and wine?
Yes.
And when will you be opening the Baja Fresh
I
Express?
believe it's going to be between either the end of February or the beginning of March.
All righty. And I know that the location you are moving into has a drive-through. It's
Correct.
formerly had drive-through. Will you be applying to do that as
As of
well?
right now, no.
No.
No, as of right now, no. If we find a way, maybe, but we don't see it happening. No.
All righty.
Can I ask quite,
Okay.
you're affiliated with 8 other locations? Is that right?
Yes.
They're all owned by the same
Family.
family? Okay.
Where are those locations?
One in North Providence, 2 on Thayer Street, one in East Providence, one in Johnston, one in North Kingston, and that's about it. I think I have
Sounds-
all of them.
Sounds like you're doing very well.
Yes, we are.
So
We're very
just
blessed.
Rhode Island.
Yes, just
Okay.
right. Oh, and one in Massachusetts, North Attleboro. Thank you. Oh, forgot.
All righty.
Yes.
I have a question. Have you had any trouble finding workers for your places?
Yes, we have.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
And do you have, you're not at that point in the business to be hiring staff?
When we open, we're already ready. Like we already have staff available to work that location. Yes.
Okay. And kitchen staff as well?
Everything's covered from when we know when the location will be open. We start training at other locations to send them to the new one.
Excellent.
Done your homework.
Yes.
I have a couple of questions. You said family. Are you part of the family?
Yes.
And the Thayer Street location, that's the oldest one, right? That's one of the originals?
The Baja's Tex-Mex, that's the first one.
That's the
That's
first one.
the father of all.
Still open till
Yes, to this. day.
2?
Yeah, 2 in the morning. The only one that's open to 2 in the morning. Yes.
Showing my age in my college years. Um, What time, did you guys get hours already of operation?
It's gonna be from 10 to 10.
10 to 10?
Mhm.
And 7 days?
Correct.
7 days a week? Thank you.
You're welcome.
Make a motion. Anybody from the public want to speak? Oh, sorry.
That's okay. You can ask that.
I was going to make the motion to,
It's
We,
public. Yeah,
okay,
well,
we do have a
public,
member of the public. If you could just have a seat for a moment,
You can
please.
stay right in the front.
Yeah, just right here.
Just in case we need to bring you back, right over on the bench. Yeah.
Good evening. If you could
Good
please
evening.
introduce
evening.
yourself.
Andrew Dupron from Canario Drive in Warren, a neighbor to the establishment. I was just questioning the closing time. I just heard was going to be 10 o'clock, but I'm wondering what about the staff? How long are they allowed to stay after that? Because we have had some problems with the present, well, the prior owner being open, the staff staying much later than 10 o'clock, after 10:30, deliveries coming after 10:30. The person who making the deliveries sleeping in his truck or resting in his truck with the car going at night. So we were having problems sleeping. We had called the police on a number of occasions to question that. They came very promptly and most usually dismissed them, only to have it happen again the following week. So I'm just concerned about that in this particular situation.
Absolutely.
Those are great
Yeah.
points, Mr. Dupron. It's good to see you.
Yeah, thank you.
You look very good.
Oh, do I have to call you Mr. Kalenda?
No, you do not.
And Mr. Hanley?
You were very good to me in that class.
With a 10 PM closing time, the cleanup and is that like a 45-minute process?
No, 20 minutes.
20 minutes?
Okay, I'm just,
The latest is gonna be 10:30, all right? We used to have deliveries coming in at 3 in the morning, 4, now we don't because there's vendors, so now they're coming in the afternoon.
Can I just pause you for just 2 seconds? Did they already go to zoning, Ben, or did they have to go to zoning? They did it. They're appearing tomorrow night. So the questions that you're bringing up about their closing hours of their operation for their workers, zoning will address that. They're only dealing with
yeah,
the sign.
we can address that.
Okay, so then we're gonna address it then, right, but then we'll address it. Yeah, because when I was sitting on zoning, we were having deliveries. That was a big question of deliveries, the midnight deliveries and trucks running. So the zoning was starting to tend towards 7 AM to 10 AM, making it a little more appealing and pleasing for the neighbors. Because some of these businesses abut these residents, there's Mr. Dupron's lived there for, 60 years? How long?
69, 70.
Yeah, so, okay, all right, thank you. That's all I have right now.
We can address that.
But we will address, we
Yeah.
will definitely address it.
Thank you very much for coming before us
Yeah.
this evening. Is there anybody else who would like to ask a question? Make a comment?
Can we just bring her back just?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
perfect. Thank you.
So you have heard the concerns
Yes, I
of
have.
your new
And
neighbors.
like I said, we did have vendors coming in early in the morning before anyone got there. But because there's a shortage with drivers on their side, now all locations, as of right now, we're having orders come between 12 and 6 p.m.
Perfect,
Okay,
So I don't see that being an issue at that
Yeah.
location.
perfect.
And for employees, they want to get out. We don't hang out. They're 10:15, 10:30, they should be out, and then that's it. Everybody goes home. There's nothing crazy like that.
all right. Well, I would, you can obviously see it's a small and very close-knit community. So establishing a relationship with your neighbors and perhaps, a burrito or something on
There
the
you go.
house
Yeah.
for
There you go.
your new neighbors.
Chips and drink, whatever you want. It's on me, okay? I'm gonna take care of you. Don't worry
Make
about it.
friends.
Yes.
And
Definitely.
neighbors.
Okay.
Zoning's not addressing any of
Just
that?
be
Mark?
aware that, it has been a problem for us in the past where, businesses have become sort of deaf to the impact of their.
No, I know. I think, I think this time will be different. It will help that we are a family-owned business instead of corporation.
Yeah.
So you won't have that issue where we can just go, you guys, we won't do that. We obviously gonna consider every problem that you guys throw at us, but yes, I will let everybody know, so.
So Madam President, I just
We
have
agree.
a couple of more points. It seems
Absolutely.
like we're sitting in a zoning capacity this evening too. Where's your dumpster going to be located?
We don't know yet.
Okay,
Everything's still gonna, because I know right now we're renovating inside, bringing it up to the health code standards.
Sure.
We're working on that, and then they're gonna find a place for that.
so you know you're surrounded by your abutters, which are pretty much residents. So if we can put that dumpster in a location where it's
It won't be loud on their part. Okay.
exactly, that would
Okay.
be, because you know they're going to end up back here and picking it up. So then the hours of the dumpster removal time, if we can keep it in the same time where you're,
Okay.
who do you plan on using? Do you know?
The dumpster,
Yeah,
I know, from what I know, they come once a week.
once a week? Yeah,
Yeah,
you just don't know the company?
no, it's either, most likely Waste Management, because
Waste
that's what we
Management.
have on Third Street as well.
Okay. And in the interest of fairness and complete transparency, the individual was our former high school math teacher. So I haven't seen him in many, many, many years. So I just wanted to, let you know that we're not playing favoritism or anything like that, but he was very strict too.
We're still scared of him.
We're still a little afraid of him, so we're still a little intimidated by him. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You know,
He will keep you after.
we probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him, okay? He turned us into good young men. Yeah. So,
No.
but yeah, so just
I would
in all
prefer
seriousness,
everything.
on the aspect of zoning, making sure that you're compliant with your hours, educating your workers
I
on,
will.
having them know that.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Make a motion, we close the public hearing.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I will make a motion that we grant the BVL license with the restrictions of no deliveries or dumpster pickups between the hours of only between the hours of 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Okay? And that no cars be left running in the parking lot with the delivery drivers. In other words, don't leave the car while the guy's sleeping, waiting for his next delivery. Yeah, don't have him come in and sit in the restaurant. Don't have him sit in his car. And the other one is that the premises be vacated by 10:30. That'll give you a half hour to clean up. Is that acceptable? I mean, if you run over a little bit late, that's not a big deal, but as long as it's not a constant, as long as it's not a constant thing, yeah. And, and later on, if it happens, just give the police a heads up and say, hey, listen, we're running a little bit late. We're going to be another 10, 15 minutes and we'll work with you on that. Does that cover about everything we were concerned about?
I think that's good.
I think so.
I will second that as long as you let us know when you're opening up. Perfect.
Yes.
Yep. Good luck to you. Good luck to you.
Thank you. We
You're
have a
welcome.
motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All righty. And PH4 is request for an abandonment of a portion of Bristol Street. It is a 40-foot wide by 80-foot long dead end. It's tax assessor's plat 20, lots 208 and 265, the right-of-way area. And this is from Christine Lancaster of 17 Reservoir Avenue and Leo Manzi of 19 Reservoir Avenue.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Madam Chairman, and Madam President, pardon me, and members of the council. Fausto Anguilla on behalf of Richard and Christine Lancaster and Leo Manzi, the petitioners. State law says that land can be abandoned by the town when it ceases to be useful to the public. The specific parcel that we ask be abandoned is a small split of land separating Mr. Manzi's property from the Lancaster property. It's on Bristol Street. Although it's been paved by the town, it has no use. There are no utilities there. There's nothing there that serves the town purpose. Basically, you have your fire chief, you have your police chief, and your DPW director here. I think they're all going to tell you that it doesn't serve any public purpose right now. It's a small piece of property. What we would propose to do, if you do abandon it, then have it subdivided and divided between the two, administratively, between the two property owners. It serves no use to anyone but these two property owners. Of course, once we do have it subdivided, we go on the tax rolls, which has some purpose in the town. That they're here to answer any questions, and I can't try to answer any questions.
Thank you. It would appear that you have answered questions that I have, that we are sure that there are no utilities there. Nothing submerged, no surprises.
But that.
And has that certificate been provided?
No, I did this verbally, but
Okay, that would be good. And there is no public town services to that.
not
Yes.
those.
Okay,
However, just to be clear, the town is paying this little piece of land right now, so what end, I don't know.
okay.
Is that going to remain the driveway for the, is that how that lot 208 is going to access their house? Is it going to remain, like, in other words, the longer driveway? Okay. And the other question I have is going to be for our solicitor. Tony, there is a third abutter to this property. Do they have rights to, if we decide to abandon it, do they have rights to part of it as well?
You're referring to the property at the dead end?
Correct.
The answer is no.
Okay,
Under the state statute, there is a center line to the property.
okay.
Half goes to the abutter on one side, the other half goes to the abutter on the other side. The dead end abutter doesn't acquire any rights and interest into the property.
Just, Anthony, just so you're aware, it's on the record, they were all different notice.
Okay, thank you.
All righty. Any other questions?
I'm good.
Is there any reason we shouldn't do this?
No, Mr. Anguilla gave the accurate rendition of section 24-6-1 of the general laws. The question is whether or not it's useful as a public way. Typically in communities, not only here in Warren, but others, that is something that is left to the fire chief, police chief, and DPW director. If, in their opinion, this is not useful as a public way, then it is abandoned. I would note under section 24-6-1 that there are other requirements that the applicants need to do to perfect the title that don't really involve the town, but that's something that they would have to undertake, as well as an administrative subdivision, so that they can perfect their title and have the property put on the tax rolls.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chief's good?
Yeah, I put that out there.
Okay. Okay, Jan, a little bit less road to plow, is that okay with you? All right,
My guys on that,
okay.
Right. And being that the applicants are neighbors, they both agree that this is what they want, and
exactly, it's a choice.
everybody's happy.
That is.
It's a win-win.
We like that.
That's what we like.
It's a win-win. That's it. All right.
I will make a motion, we close the public hearing.
I'll second that.
Provided that there was nobody
Oh,
here who
please, yep.
wanted to comment
On the
or,
trigger on that one?
Yeah.
all right. So all in favor of closing public hearing?
Aye.
Aye.
And I will make a motion that the town abandon the 40-foot wide by 85-foot long dead end. Tax assessors plat 20, lots 208 and 265 to the applicants Christine Lancaster and Leo Mancy.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. You're very welcome.
Good night. Good luck.
Congratulations
welcome.
on your
Yeah,
acquired
on your merger.
Well,
piece
gracias.
of property. Did you have a question?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we're moving through this.
Just happy to see our new building official in the attendance.
Hello, Mr. Cabral. Next, we have P4, which is a request for a vittling license, transfer of location from Gigi's Pretzels LLC of 691 Main Street, which is Hope in Maine. Their new address will be 606 Metacom Avenue, Unit 3. Are the applicants here with us? Please do come forward. If I were to read into this, it sounds like you're graduating from Hope in Maine to your own bricks and mortar business.
Sorry, can you repeat that? question?
Please introduce yourselves.
I'm Gina Ferrara, and this is George LaFave.
Nice to see you. Welcome back. So you are graduating from Hope and Maine into your own
That's
place
correct.
of business.
Yes.
Is everything ready and you're happy,
To go.
ready to go?
Ready to go for a while, so.
Yeah, I feel as though maybe you were going to be ready to go somewhere else for a while back.
That's another story for another time.
Yes, I think it probably is.
Yeah, we're very excited. Presently baking as we speak now, and should be opening first year.
First of the year, so
Yeah, we've got orders from the holidays that just got swamped. so,
Specialty
yeah,
orders.
we
yeah.
just-
We're
All
just
right.
using it as production right now. And we have a couple more things that we need to acquire equipment wise, like a couple tables and stuff like that. But once we have all of that, we're planning a soft opening with, friends and family, just sort of test the waters a little bit, and then we'll have a grand opening.
so you
So
have soft pretzels.
we do soft pretzels, we have chocolate pretzels, chocolate
I've
bar,
had your
popcorn.
pretzels. All right, well, any questions from the council?
No, I just have, on the application, just a little confusing. It says number of indoor tables, 2, number of seats, 21. That's, those are pretty big tables.
No, I apologize.
I would like a family gathering.
Okay.
Like Antonio's on Federal Hill, right?
Yeah.
Family style. We have 2 regular size tables, and then we have 3 high top tables.
Okay,
The total number of seats is
Okay.
13.
okay, perfect.
And zoning gave you, this, everything was already approved through zoning, correct?
Correct.
Didn't even have to do, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have signage? Do they have signage?
The only thing that we're waiting for is a sign. We
you have
have
sign?
a contractor getting ready to do that.
Did they need to go?
I don't,
Okay, so
Yeah.
you have to take your site plans for the sign. Present it to the building officials. Yeah, the plan.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. I know that he hasn't, I don't believe he's applied for the permit yet.
I think it's just like this.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
It's actually P4.
Unfortunately, he had a family emergency, and so he has, I
Understandable.
think he's a little bit delayed in doing that process, so.
If you need any, call. I'll
Okay.
answer the questions. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah.
All righty, so just a little bit of clerical,
We have some housekeeping on
little
there.
housekeeping up here. So this request for the transfer of the license is on the page listed as P5, but on the agenda as P4. And then P4 is the request for outdoor seating, which was, okay.
Okay,
So this was removed. And so this is now P4.
okay.
As long as it's legal,
Yeah,
I don't need another
Yeah.
one. I can just keep this as P4 and I've removed this one. All right, so
Yeah, it's the
we're
same.
so glad that you have, that you're landing back in your own space and that it will be, we wish you the greatest success once we have
Yep.
had a motion and a vote on it.
I will make a motion. We grant the Vitchling license transfer for GG's Pretzels, 2606 Metacom Avenue, unit number 3.
And I will second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you so
Great.
much.
Happy holidays.
Good luck. Good luck. Good luck.
Cheers.
Merry Christmas. to you.
All right, it's there.
No, those are part of the consent.
Oh, okay, perfect. Thank you. I missed the after.
All righty, so next is correspondence. We have C1 through C10. There are a number of letters of resignation from various boards and committees, including the Parks and Rec. I think there will be 3 openings, and from the Harbor Commission and the Holiday Festival Chair, and there's 2 from the Economic Development Board. So given all of these resignations, we need to thank these folks for their service to the town and then include the vacancies in advertising.
I'll make a motion, we accept the correspondence, that we advertise all of the positions of the resignees, and that we send a letter out to them thanking for their service to the town.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All righty. Maybe I shouldn't do that. So next we have old business. OB1 is a report from the Traffic Advisory Group. And we do have a we have a memorandum from the Traffic Advisory Group. In our previous meetings, we've had some requests or to us individually and to the council, we've had some requests for stop signs at various locations. And we have some recommendations here from the Traffic Advisory Group. And I think the best way to handle this is that we accept this report and then we can request a stop sign for one of the locations, and there will be further evaluation to the other one of the other locations going forward. So there is a request from Joseph Godreau for a speed limit sign on Ridgeway Drive and a stop sign at the intersection of Ridgeway Drive and Eisenhower Street. And it is the finding of the group that the location of additional signs as requested could cause additional traffic issues. The Warren Police Department will cite the mobile visual sign advising drivers to posted speed limits and will continue to monitor the situation. So they're not making a full decision for a stop sign, but they are going to observe and make some further recommendations going down by next month. The other, or one of the others, was a request from Nicole Rome and Allison Carrera for stop signs at the intersection of Seymour Street and Barton Lane and or traffic calming measures on Seymour Street. And the Traffic Advisory Group concurs that it is appropriate to install signs. And finally, there is a request from Laura Thomas for a stop sign at the intersection of Denver Avenue and Connecticut Avenue. And the Traffic Advisory Group does not see the need for a sign at this location.
Okay.
Any discussion?
Can I have a question about traffic calming measures? Is that something that is we consider as a town at all or not?
So you're familiar with the calming strips are? They're just wider.
Yeah, that's why
Yeah.
I know that in the past we've.
So there was
put-
one
put-
at.
Speed bumps are out, but.
Yeah.
But these strips, that I think you mentioned it.
I did, yeah, because the city of Providence has. them.
Yeah, I go over them quite
Yep.
often, so
Yep.
I
Yep.
just wondered if it was something that we would even consider.
Did you look into that, chief? Yep. So there is one in town already. It's located on, like what I think, keep changing the street from Asylum to Ucole, but on the way to Ucole, there's one there. You know, whether or not it's appropriate, I know the report came back saying the stop sign at Bottom Lane would be appropriate. Probably in that area, from my experience with calming strips, that's probably more appropriate to have a stop sign there than a calming strip. Because I'm just thinking for first responders, going over those, they can be challenging. I'm not saying that they couldn't be located and used and utilized in other areas of the town, but I think I'm going to confer with the Traffic Commission came back with at the intersection of Bott and Seymour. They recommended a traffic sign, a stop sign. Yeah. Correct. Yep. Yeah. I know during the park and recreation, when Bristol Park is opening, they put the temporary speed bumps out. Maybe that's a proper location for those calming strips on Water Street in front of the beach. You know, because I think the speed limit there is 15. So you wouldn't hear the big da-dunk.
Yeah, I just wondered if there were some areas in town where they might come in handy. I know that There's actually just a bike accident on Child Street just over the weekend, right? That's a tough place right there for bike path crossing. But, you know, I don't know if that's even an option.
Well, that's
It
why we
was
have,
flashing, right?
that's why we have the traffic advisory group, the commission.
Well, a lot of bicycle riders don't think stop signs apply to them.
Right, and vice versa. Yeah,
Right.
It's
Yeah.
it's a two-way street.
Right,
Well,
yep.
No
Oh,
pun intended, but, yeah.
I do have a question. Is Seymour a state road, and would we need state approval to install a stop sign there?
I thought we addressed that last time. It's not, right?
Town Street, okay, okay.
yes. Mhm. Yeah,
There's no final decision on item number one. If there is, as well as the stop sign at Barton and Seymour, that would be on the agenda, the request to install those in
On-
January.
correct.
On the note for that one, it says additional signage could cause additional traffic issues. Do we think speed limit signs would cause more issues?
Or stop signs.
It was referencing stop signs.
Yeah.
Okay, so that, as the Director Malik said, if we put speed limit signs, that shouldn't cause any confusion.
Well, we're going to have the visual sign out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
the intention is to have the mobile visual signs up and see what that does, and then, you know, proceed from there. So the next step here is to accept this document, and then
Mhm.
we
Take
can
some action. Yep.
have the January agenda include the request for a stop sign on Seymour Street, and then we'll have another recommendation
Yep.
from the group.
Now, to put the stop sign in, Tony, don't we need to amend one of the ordinances to include that stop sign in it? So if we could get that codified and ready for approval for January's meeting. Yeah. Okay. All right. I will make a motion that we accept the memo from the Traffic Advisory Group, and we instruct the solicitor to draft the changes to the ordinance for the stop sign located at Seymour and Barton Lane.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Nothing? All right, you've been very silent tonight.
Also, thank you.
Okay. We do have an OB2, and it's discussion and action regarding regulation of clothing donation bins. This is something that I've been hearing about for a long time. Councilman Kalenda specifically had asked for this discussion to happen, and to explain it, there are, the town entered into an agreement with Big Brothers Big Sisters for donation bins to be located on town property, and those have been that has been a successful relationship, and there haven't been any problems. The problems are with the various other groups of some legitimate and some it's been eyesore, and I think that we should develop some sort of policy that would dictate where bins of that nature can be placed and what our expectations are for them to be maintained and kept neat. I said,
You did. If you don't mind, I
Yeah,
have
no, I'd like
a
you to
few points. Yes, so thank you.
elaborate.
So as the council president indicated, I've been having some conversations about the maintenance of these bins. So I took the liberty to reach out to some of our neighbors and specifically the town of Bristol and spoke with their compliance officer. And I asked, the first question is, do they have an ordinance that addressed it? And they don't, but if I may misspeak on exact what verbiage he used, but it was something along the lines of maintenance of effort of how they were maintaining the property. If, for example, the one that I'm having an issue with is there's a mattress now at this donation, and we just can't have that. I mean,
Which
that's,
one?
the solicitor's gonna jump in. Go ahead.
Just to follow up on the comments, this is an issue that's statewide. And I understand Bristol doesn't have an ordinance, but other communities do. So when I knew that this matter was going on, I drafted some, actually, but I took a look around. I've taken a look around. My recommendation would be is if the town wants to regulate the donation bins, that you have an ordinance on it. And I think that would be,
Well, we talked about this, don't we? Yeah, because I reached out to you about the, yeah,
yes.
yeah.
But to me, that makes it so that there is not only would someone who's going to locate a donation bin in the town, but also town staff would know what the rules are and go from there. But I have a further recommendation. We did speak about this. But I think that it is appropriate for the town council to issue permits for
Yes.
these donation bins.
Exactly.
Or a
Yeah.
license.
And,
Yeah.
I have to tell you that I've been at town council meetings where, donation bin nonprofits have come in, where the council members did research on them and said, you're not, big brothers and big sisters is one thing, but there's others out there that,
They're for profit.
yeah,
They are for profit.
they're for profit, but they also have
Yeah.
a track record of not maintaining their donation
No.
bins.
Yeah.
I have a further suggestion. And I know it's extreme and you're gonna get mad at me, but technically, these things are structures. And based on that, they should be subject to the zoning ordinance. That means that, you have to apply with zoning or go to zoning if you want to put them in your setbacks. And I have a final thing to say on this. One community, which I recommend happen here, assesses fines if there's a junk on the property to the owner, not to the donation bin, because you can never get them. They're somewhere else. They're nonprofit supposedly, but the owner's right there. That lets the owner know that if they're going to have one of these things on their property,
They got
They're
skin in
gonna-
the game.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. We talked about this.
Yeah.
And the fines would go to the owner. One of the requirements would be that if somebody is going to locate a donation bin in town, they would have to come with a letter of permission from the owner of the property. That puts the owner on notice that they can have it there. That's great. But the responsibility for keeping it clean would be on the owner. That makes it a lot easier for enforcement staff on that. If you'd like, I can give you draft language next month.
Yeah, and I think that's probably the appropriate thing. I mean, I don't want to get caught down in the weeds in this thing. I appreciate the council president allowing me to bring this to the attention of the council, but it's something that needs to be addressed. If we have a limit on BV licenses, then maybe we should have a limit on how many of these donation boxes that we're going to have in the community. What can we support? What can't we support? We have them on our own property and it's working beautifully. It's the ones that are not on the town property that are a little off the rails right now.
There are communities that do limit the amount of donation bins that can go in.
Yeah.
How many on a particular property, where they can go, based on zones from the zoning ordinance.
Yeah.
On
Okay.
it. So there are regulations that can happen here. It's just a question of how the council wants to tailor it to the town of Warren.
All right. So I would, what I'm hearing, unless there's more discussion, I will gladly make a motion that we go on the recommendation of the solicitor to give us draft language on this potential ordinance for these donation bins located in the town of Warren.
I will second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You can have it for next month.
Perfect.
Thank you.
And
Thank
I-
you.
I would just like to say one thing. You're saying there's mattresses there and
Yes.
our new building official, if you look in the property maintenance code, there's a section that
That's-
covers rodent harborage. So anytime those bills are overflowed, you can write them up immediately under the property
Property
maintenance
maintenance
code.
code. That's,
Yep.
thank you. Hey, you guys. I don't mean to put more work on you, but welcome to the town of Warren.
All righty. New business, NB1, discussion and action regarding Warren High School class of 1965, proposing planting a tree at KMS. Further approval from the school committee subcommittee on budget and facilities. So might we have those applicants come forward and introduce themselves?
Before, are you the one that gave us the pictures? Fantastic job. Yeah, thank you. Very well done. I like visual aids.
The most complete application
Yeah, I
I've
know.
seen for a tree. It's unbelievable.
Barbara, you set a high
You get an
bar.
A+. Very good. Yeah.
First class to go through what was done. And organization that together, you know, and we talked about the fact that we have lost some of our.
Got on their agenda yet?
Well, yes, our proposal there is not.
He's the new building, yeah, maintenance facilities. Correct.
And they want to now create a process.
Absolutely, without.
I don't want to speak to the council, but I think this is a no-brainer.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
Absolutely,
Yeah, it's
yep.
like,
If I may, just one thing. So sometimes these trees come with some type of plaques and stuff. Are you thinking something along those lines?
Yes, we are. We're thinking about perhaps a rock, something half the size platform here, with the rating on it.
Perfect way to go. And the reason why I mentioned this is that there was a similar tree with a little plaque that was located over near the pavilion. The kids would trip over it all the time. They ended up bending it and breaking it, and it's not even there anymore. So that rock, great idea. Perfect. Yeah, perfect. Hitting it out of the park. Nice job.
I will make a motion that we approve the request to plant a tree in a memorial placard of some sort at the KMS Middle School.
I will second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
And of course, the DPW, when it's time to plant that tree, will be,
If he
Mr.
can.
Malik, you're not gonna, you won't be here then, but the new person.
School.
So you're looking for springtime now?
It's in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We will
okay.
offer our service.
Yes. Also got some.
Yes.
The tree
Yeah.
commission.
Yep, he's a tree commission. Yep, very good.
Very good.
Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Great
Take care.
idea.
Great idea. Happy holidays to you.
And B2, establish term limits of 3 years for members of the Arts and Cultural Commission. Upon creating this commission, I think we did it as 1-year terms, which ends up being sort of
Right.
too
So-
much. Do we want to stagger these at all?
No, I think initially we can, yeah, I think it's going to get really confusing when we start trying to stagger them now.
Yeah.
They'll end up staggering themselves though. as they-
Eventually, right?
Yeah, because
Yes.
how they get appointed
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah, we would, they'll
Yeah, but usually
self-stagger.
when they get appointed, it's to fill the existing term.
Yeah, and
I
then
don't
they'll
think there's
just,
gonna be a huge turnover, so I don't think we
No.
have to worry about staggering.
And then the other piece, Madam President, is that the reappointment would be consistent with all the other boards and commissions for reappointment.
Yep.
Okay,
I'll make a motion, we establish a term limit of 3 years for the Arts and Cultural Commission.
second,
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Oh, wait, term limit. How about a term? I don't like the term limit. That means after 3 years, they can't serve.
Term.
Am I reading that correct?
Yeah, you're.
Yeah, so
it'd
I
be a
think,
term.
let me re-amend my motion. I'd like to change that to establish a term of 3 years for members of the Arts and Cultural Commission.
and I'll
Okay.
second that, yeah.
All
Clean
in
that language.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All good. Alrighty. I'm,
NB3.
yeah, I know, but I'm. Okay, so this is the old one. This is very confusing. NB3 is discussion and action regarding request to extend outside dining through December 31st, 2022 for businesses approved for outside dining due to COVID-19, possible referral to the zoning board of review.
Yeah, so the legislation that allowed those businesses that had gotten permission for outside dining, it seems as if that's going to expire at the end of this month. What I would suggest is that we hold a special zoning meeting for those businesses that want to continue to have the outside dining. Work with the fire chief, make sure that we're in compliance with safety and locations haven't changed. But I think those businesses appreciated the opportunity to have the outside dining.
Yeah, I think that makes good sense.
I will make a motion that we extend the outside dining through December 31st, 2022. With a do we even need to refer? to the
Yeah,
zoning board?
it needs zoning approval, so that your
Okay.
motion would be to refer to the zoning
To
board.
refer it to the zoning board
Yep.
for review for extension through December 31, 2022.
And I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Next, we have a solicitor request a motion for executive session, closed session pursuant to 42-46-5, subsection A5, opioid litigation, potential settlement.
I will make a motion that we go into executive session for opioid litigation potential settlement.
Roll call, Councilman Hecker.
And I'll second that.
Thank you.
Aye.
Councilman Kalenda,
Aye.
Vice President Hanley.
Aye.
And I vote aye. And next, we have request a motion for executive session, closed session pursuant to 42-46-5, subsection A, litigation Warren Gateway Center.
I will make a motion that we go into executive session for possible litigation regarding the Warren Gateway Center.
Second,
Roll call, Councilman Hecker,
Aye.
Councilman Kalenda,
aye.
Vice President Hanley.
Aye.
And I vote aye. Finance Director, Revenues and Expenditures.
Hey, Fung. Hi,
Good
good evening.
On high.
Oh, no, it's the battery.
Is it on?
There you go.
Good evening.
Hi.
Hi.
Alrighty, so anything to report to us? How's everything going?
Everything seems normal, nothing out of ordinary. So do you have any questions?
The question I have, are these abatements through being deceased or bankruptcy? None of these are property taxes, are they? Are they more like tangibles or?
Yes, they are all
Okay.
tangible.
Okay, yep, that makes sense then, that make them dismiss. I will make a motion that we abate we're gonna read every single one of these. Tony, do I?
You can capture it. Yeah.
Okay.
No.
All right, I will make a motion that we approve the abatements recommended by the finance director
Second,
Do you need the amount there?
for a total of $51,509.83.
and I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
How are we looking?
For the overall financial, any issues that concerns coming up?
We're able to keep the lights on?
We're in the target number.
Okay,
We're in the
that's good.
target numbers that we're looking for.
Did I
Good.
miss that report? That report, the finance report gets sent out? Okay, maybe I just,
It was in an
Yeah.
email. It was a PDF, I believe. Right?
okay, so it went out. Okay,
Yeah.
maybe it just disappeared on me. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I'll double check my trash bin there. Not that I wanted to go in the trash.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you very
you, Fong.
much. All right, next we have the tax assessor. We have an abatement of the 2021 tax roll of $499.70. Discussion on that?
Tax appeal. No, these are both from tax appeal. I will make a motion that we abate the 2021 tax roll in the amount of $499.70.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And then you would like to recommend that we accept the bid from the Northeast Revaluation Group over Vision Government Solutions to proceed with the statistical evaluation. All right. And maybe just because they are the higher bid, not by a lot, but maybe you want to just explain to us why it would be in our best interest to do that.
Sure. So it's actually 6 years ago, we went to a now Northeast. Prior to that, half my time for years. So I can go kind of look back to see if we've used any money. Get a bid from Vision for the first time that we here this year for the statistical. We haven't received bids for the folders last time. So bid would be using the purchase order with product would be like bad things. But
Seems reasonable. And the amount there that they're bid, it's not guaranteed we're going to pay that. It could end up being less than that.
now
The 98.6.
I would think that maybe not that they have to go into a contract with them for certain services.
Okay.
That amount should not increase.
Okay, not to exceed.
And unless the council wanted to go back for a different number, then
Anthony, are we okay awarding the bid to the higher bidder due to familiarity?
Yes, under Title 45, Chapter 55, you're allowed to do this. It's the lowest responsive bidder.
Okay.
And in this instance, I think Chris has accurately conveyed to you why, in his opinion, as the tax assessor, this is the most responsive bidder, albeit the fact that it's slightly more expensive than the other one. No doubt he remembers what happened in Barrington when they switched midstream. I think he remembers that.
another evaluation.
That's correct.
Okay, well, enough said. We
I-
trust your judgment.
I will make a motion that we support that we go with the $98,600 by Northeast Reevaluation Group for the statistical reevaluation.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Next, we have planning and community development, discussion and action and authorization for the town council president to execute a professional services agreement with Mcmahon Associates, Inc., parking management study.
So as I outlined in my memo, we did do an RFP. We had 2 respondents. We also had a committee formed to interview the respondents. After that meeting, I think the group felt that Mcmahon Associates would better serve us. The contracts come in 2 different ways. One was flat price, one was a menu of pricing. We don't have the full amount of money at the moment to pay either of those, so we're going to treat it as an on-call contract. So your approval would be subject to the solicitor's review of any contract, final contract that we negotiate.
Okay. And basically, Bob, what, they're gonna assess all the parking in town and.
It's going to be focused on Main Street and Water
Okay.
Street area, the
That's what I-
downtown.
Yeah, in the downtown area,
Yep.
possibly recommend signage or
Yep.
other areas. Okay.
Good question. What amount of money do we have right now towards this? You mentioned we don't have all, because I know McMahon was like, the bid was like 68.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to see what I've got available in my budget right now. And then that's one of the things we're working on, just breaking out the different various scopes and assigning a price to that. So, I mean, it might be that I can report back next month in terms of how that is going to work and if we need to move money from someplace else.
Yeah, but the only problem I have is authorizing execute a service agreement without a dollar amount on it. I mean, either a cap, a minimum, or a maximum. That's what I have concern about.
I would say that, I mean, we would phrase it in a way that it wouldn't exceed what the number within their bid was.
No, I mean, the number, you don't know what you have in your budget for it, so I don't know. In other words, if we say, yeah, not to exceed $20,000 and you've only got 15.
Well, I mean, that's why we're treating it as an on-call contract. That's
Yep.
how we do with our engineers.
What I'd recommend you do in
They're
those
all Thursdays.
circumstances, because it's going to be on call, that just refer them out to me before it's signed, so that the necessary language can be put in that it's subject to budgetary restrictions.
Okay, that makes sense. Good. All right, I will make a motion that we authorize the town council president to sign an agreement with McMahon Associates for parking management study.
Second.
All in favor?
We're going to restrict that to,
Pending,
thank you,
pending wording from the town solicitor.
thank you.
Thanks, Brent.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And next, we have discussion and action authorization for the town council president to execute a second amendment to the net metering credit sales agreement with Green Development LLC.
So this is actually a really good opportunity for the town. You know, initially, our net metering agreement was going to be for the solar array developed at the landfill. That's still in the permitting process. Green has another project that has come online, came online early this month. So the first amendment to the net metering said we would take power from that project, but they have additional capacity. So now we're able to add on the wastewater management plant to that reduced pricing. So it's at 10.47 cents a kilowatt hour. It's a significant savings across the board for the town. And they're still moving forward with the solar array at the landfill.
All right,
I will make a motion that we authorize the town council president to execute a second amendment to the net metering credit sales agreement pending review by the town solicitor.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And the fire chief, request authorization to review options to tax the rescue stipend pay. Come on down.
Requesting authorization to work with Manager Mishu and Finance Director Chan on different options to be able to tax the rescue stipend pay every paycheck. They're currently taxed as a 1099 employee. And you express hardship with that tax.
So the only question I have with that for the manager is we end up becoming, because they're 1099 and they're subcontractors. If we're going to put them on our payroll, are they now employees?
So they would not be employees.
Okay.
So they would be paid similar to how our town solicitor is paid, who also is not an employee. There would be a cost associated with this, just for full disclosure. The town would be paying FICA, which
Well,
would be our.
that's my next question was, so we're responsible for
We
FICA?
would be responsible for FICA. My opinion is that that's a small price to pay for the service
Yeah.
that we're receiving. and
Agreed.
Anything that we can do to show our appreciation to rescue and make it a more attractive thing for someone to volunteer for, I am fully in support of.
Do you have a rough number, what you think that FICA is going to be and where will we pull it out of this year's budget?
I think it's around 15,000 is what it will cost through the remainder of this year, is what the finance director, just under 15,000. We will have to return to the council at some point, probably, depending on where we are with rescues. So, if we run into issues with filling those rescue shifts, then we may underspend on that line item. We may not, but it's too early in the year to determine where we are.
And does this qualify them for MERS?
No. No, actually, it does not, and there is precedent. I think what they're asking for is that the town deduct their taxes from the amounts that they get, just as kind of a courtesy, so they don't have to handle it at the end of the year. Does that create an employer-employee relationship with them? In my opinion, no. I defer to Fung on that, but you've been doing it with me for years now. I'm not in MERS, not entitled to it. Don't get Blue Cross or anything like that. And I think that's what the limitation is here. If you approve it, again, this is a language issue, which would be set out when the chief works with the town manager and the finance director. I'll make sure that the necessary language is in there so that they're not employees. They remain their status, but the town provides this service to them, which is, I think, what they're looking for.
It's fine.
Okay, fair enough.
Chief, how many are we talking about, individuals? Ballpark? 60, okay.
Yep.
All right. Good. Thank
I will make a mess. Yeah, I'll make a mess of that motion. I will make a motion that we authorize the rescue stipend pay to be taxed weekly or however it is bi-weekly, to be worked out by the town manager, the finance director, and the solicitor.
Second.
Yeah, we pay them every 2 months.
Okay, well, whatever they're going to bring it down to, but for you guys to work out how you're going to do it and for Anthony to check the language and make sure that it's good.
And I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Chief. And Town Clerk, request approval for 2022 Town Council meeting schedule. So we have a list of dates for Town Council meeting for the 2022 year. Please note that on November 7th, 2022, that is a Monday, because the next day, Tuesday, the regularly scheduled meeting is Election Day.
And this among changes. December 13th.
Sounds like you were looking at an old calendar.
No, nope, I think you were confusing the T for Tuesday with the T for Thursday. So, it's all good.
I'll make a motion. We accept the town council meeting schedule as presented by the town clerk.
And I will
Amended.
second that. Amended, yeah, the amended.
The
version.
amended, yes,
All right,
correct.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Okay, I make a motion. We go into executive session.
And I will second that, but I just want to say happy birthday to my brother Jimmy.
Happy birthday, Jim.
Happy birthday. Happy holidays. favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I make a motion that we seal the minutes from the executive session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. And I make a motion that the solicitor, the planner, and the town manager proceed as directed in executive session. On the gateway project. On the gateway project.
Second.
The other issue is the regular. And I make a motion that on the opioid case, that the solicitor proceed as, and the town manager proceed as recommended in executive session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And for the first motion, which was the second agenda item, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yep, yeah, we did request.
That's
Yep,
okay.
we're good.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think we need one more.
Motion to adjourn.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And Merry Christmas should go on the motion and happy